Have you ever heard this story? If you walk alone at night and encounter a woman in a red coat wearing a mask, she will ask you a question. Am I pretty? And no matter how you answer, at that moment, you are already trapped. I always thought it was just an old urban legend, but a few days ago, I saw her with my own eyes. That night, the streets were silent. A cold wind blew. And then, under the street light, a woman in a red coat was standing. Her long black hair hung down, and a white mask covered her face. I froze. She stood motionless as well. Then she slowly started moving. Step by step, she walked toward me and whispered, "Am I pretty?" My heart stopped. They say if you answer yes, she slits your mouth open. If you say no, you die on the spot. Running away wasn't an option. Then suddenly, I remembered what an old man at the bus stop had told me a few days ago. Those things, they only expect a certain response. If the rules break, they break too. I frantically searched for a way out. I had to confuse her. I took a deep breath and said something unexpected. "Why are you asking me?" At that moment, she stopped. "What?" She tilted her head as if confused. I continued, "Don't you know if you're pretty or not?" She took a step back. Her lips twitched beneath the mask and her body started trembling. Had I won? But then, her trembling grew stronger. A small shake turned into laughter. At first, it was a low chuckle. Then it got louder and louder. Her body swayed violently, and suddenly she lunged at me. Her cold hands wrapped around my throat. Her voice echoed in my ear. "You're the most fun one yet." Her red coat writhed like it was alive, and beneath the mask, a wide, torn mouth appeared. I blinked, and the next thing I knew, I was lying on the cold ground in a dark alley. I couldn't move. I lifted a trembling hand to my face. My mouth was torn open. The next morning, I looked in the mirror, and I was wearing a red coat. The reflection in the mirror smiled back at me with a slit mouth. And then, before I realized it, the words escaped my lips. "Am I pretty?"